What's a good target LTV? What should my OnlyFans page LTV be? What the fuck is LTV? These are some of the most common questions that I see asked in OFM circles. But for 99% of agencies, it's the wrong question, and using LTV as your North Star metric is actually hurting your agency. Agency owners, especially new ones, want a single, simple answer, a magic number that tells them that they're doing a good job. But LTV is a deeply misunderstood and flawed metric, and anyone that tells you that there is a single good answer is either lying to you or just repeating something that they heard from an OFM YouTuber who's dumber and less handsome than me. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you a conceptual framework that will permanently change how you approach OnlyFans management. And if you listen closely and execute on this framework, you will increase net revenue for your pages, reduce your cost to acquire new subscribers, and put way more profit in your pocket. My name is Francis, and I am an OnlyFans consultant and former manager that has produced millions of dollars, millions of followers, and billions of views for my clients. And this channel is dedicated to sharing what I have learned with you for free. If you'd like to reward my generosity and not miss any future content, make sure that you click that little subscribe button down there. I promise you won't regret it. You've almost certainly heard the term LTV or lifetime value tossed around at some point. Just in case you haven't, LTV is simply the amount of money that an average subscriber spends on a model's OnlyFans page. But LTV isn't just one variable. It's a moving target with several different components, and it is absolutely not the only way or even the best way to measure success. Many agencies either don't properly calculate LTV or exaggerate and even outright lie about their LTV to sound like they are producing better results than they are. And here's how you can both call BS and use LTV in a way that is actually helpful for your agency. If I tell you one of my models has an average subscriber LTV of $50, that might sound pretty good, but that number is almost meaningless without more context, specifically the answers to these three questions. The first question is, over what time period? LTV should always be tied to a narrower, more specific time window. Most people assume that the lifetime in lifetime value is that time span, but that actually totally invalidates the usefulness of the metric, because a $50 LTV over the entire lifespan of a subscriber is very different from $50 LTV in the first 30 days after a subscriber joins. If it takes you 9 months to squeeze $50 out of a sub, that is a completely different business from one where you make $50 in the first 7 days. In practice, you should be thinking in time-boxed LTVs using this formula. Total net revenue from a cohort or segment of subscribers in their first T days divided by the number of subscribers in that cohort. So T equals 7 is a 7-day LTV, T equals 30 is 30-day LTV, T equals 90 is 90-day LTV, and so on. The reason this matters is twofold. A, how long you retain customers is a huge consideration for calculating LTV. And B, because each of those timing windows tells a totally different story. Short windows, between 7 and 30 days, will tell you how fast your chatters are actually generating revenue and getting people spending as soon as they hit the page. And longer windows, like 90 to 180-day LTV, will tell you how good you are at subscriber retention, upsells, and relationship building. If you prefer to nail your customers with tons of PPVs and fast sales tactics, your 7-day LTV might be a lot higher than your 90-day LTV, or vice versa. Neither one is inherently better than the other, it just indicates whether the strategy that you've chosen is working as intended. The question that you actually care about is, how much does an average subscriber spend in their first X days, and how long do they usually stick around? And if you keep watching, I will explain how to improve both of those metrics simultaneously while reducing costs. The second question you need to ask is, how many subscribers per day are you producing? Because a $50 30-day LTV across 10,000 customers is a $500,000 a month business. And a $50 30-day LTV across 10 customers is, at best, a hobby. This is where a lot of OnlyFans managers delude themselves. I've seen guys bragging about $100 LTVs, and when I press them, I typically find out that they're either totally miscalculating LTV, or the model has less than 100 paying subscribers, or both. So now, when an agency starts bragging about their LTV, your immediate question should be, what is your LTV over what time frame, and how many new paying subs do you bring in within that time frame? If your LTV is high, but your volume is low, your problem isn't monetization, it's traffic and conversion. And no matter how amazing your chatters are, without new traffic, your page will eventually die. A perfect illustration of this is free pages. Most free pages have single-digit LTVs or even sub-$1 LTVs because the barrier for entry is zero and the quality of the customers is low. But mathematically, a free page with a $1 30-day LTV that drags 50,000 new subscribers on a monthly basis is producing exactly the same amount of revenue as a paid page with a $25 LTV doing 2,000 new subs a month. And your target LTV for any given page needs to take both of those numbers into consideration. The third question is, what is the average purchase price? Is your LTV kept afloat by selling high-ticket content to a tiny group of whales or a bunch of lower-ticket content to a wider base of subscribers? These are totally different strategies, but they might have identical LTVs. For example, in a given month, Model A might have 5 guys spending $1,000 each, and 95 guys spending $10 each. She has a $145 average LTV, but only $14,500 in gross revenue. And if those 5 whales go away, she just lost a third of her revenue. Model B has 500 subs with a $60 30-day LTV. Her LTV is less than half of the first example, but her revenue is $30,000 a month, over double Model A's, and her revenue is stable and scalable. If she can expect to sell $60 of content to every new subscriber, it makes way more sense to invest in traffic. The average doesn't tell you what you need to know about individual spenders on the page, which matters a lot. How many subs buy nothing beyond a subscription? How many are transactional customers that buy 1 or 2 pieces of content a month when the price is right? And how many are genuine whales that are carrying the entire account? If you only look at average LTV, you lose sight of individuals and segments of your subscriber base, which makes it harder to make the correct strategic decisions for your page. While whales are incredibly important, and you should absolutely be trying to find and extract max value from your whales, you also need to account for the fact that when those whales fall off, and they will, you are appropriately hedged with a middle market strategy that consistently keeps new subs spending moderate amounts of money. So now you have some better tools to actually think about LTV instead of just targeting a random number that you heard from a YouTuber or some dumbass kid in a group chat. The natural next question is, how do you use this to actually make more money? This is where the two basic cost sides of the equation come in: customer acquisition cost, or CAC, and rev share. CAC is simply how much it costs on average to get a new subscriber. This would be money spent on paid ads if you're going that route, and recurring costs like VAs, equipment, and editors for organic social. Rev share is how much of the revenue you actually keep based on your agreement with the model. So if you're paying $30 to acquire a sub that's worth $35 over 90 days, and you only get 40% rev share, you're obviously not running a sustainable business. But here's the secret sauce, and the reason that when I was actively managing, I was able to put almost $3 million of profit in my pocket within my first 2 years of doing OFM. I built my entire agency purely around branded organic social. Unlike agencies who try to scale with low-quality models, shoutouts, and paid ads, by exclusively working with models who had top 0.01 potential and focusing on nothing but organic traffic, I was able to decrease my customer acquisition cost to functionally zero, while simultaneously increasing both the volume and the quality of my subscribers on an LTV basis. Paid ads and shoutouts tell people what your model looks like and where to find them, but they don't give people a reason to give a shit about your model in particular other than how they look, which typically results in a very poor CAC to LTV ratio. You might pay $1 for a free sub with an LTV expectation of, at most, $5. And after rev share and other costs, your margins are going to be razor thin. Plus, you have to do insane volume in order to scale. But when you learn how to do organic social well, by the time they click the OnlyFans link, the fan already likes her, already trusts her, and already feels connected to her from watching the content. And as a direct consequence, those fans are more likely to subscribe over time, spend more and faster, and stay subscribed longer than prospects from any other traffic source. This is why I am so bullish on organic social. It is the only channel that lets you reduce your cost to acquire customers while simultaneously increasing revenue. If, after hearing all of that, you want to do things the industry standard way, fighting tooth and nail with the bottom 90% of agencies who are still trying to force mediocre models down customers' throats with black hat traffic methods and paid ads, be my guest. But if you want your models to hit consistent 6-figure months and make serious profit, you need to refocus all of your efforts on organic social, and you need to do it now. because OnlyFans is going through major changes, and the agencies who invest in brand are going to be the last ones standing. My content is a great place to start, and I would encourage you to check out the hours of free OFM sauce available on this channel. But if you're ready to turbocharge your organic social engine, develop a unique brand for your models, and start raking in high LTV subs at scale, click the first link in the description and fill out my consulting application, and I will personally build a full go-to-market strategy for your model from scratch and share the exact tactics and SOPs that I used to build a multi-million-dollar agency. And if you're not ready to take the plunge or you can't afford consulting right now, click the second link in the description to join our Telegram community for OnlyFans managers and creators who are looking to improve at organic social. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So I gotta silence this dumb bitch phone for some reason, which is blowing up right now. Kill myself with a gun. With a gun, I kill myself. Wait, lay down. Oh my God. Sit. Stay. What are you doing, dude? Go home. Go home. Go lay down.
Here, sleep that.
Lay down. No, go home.